Welcome to Ancient Conspiracies Podcast. I'm your host, Ben Carter. In 1921, amateur archaeologist Alfred Watkins, while poring over a map in his Herefordshire home in England, made an observation that would change the way we look at the world. He noticed a peculiar alignment of archaeological sites, ancient towns, and significant landmarks, all seemingly connected by a network of invisible lines. He called these pathways ley lines, a term derived from the Old English word for meadow or clearing. Watkins suggested these lines were ancient trackways with spiritual or mystical significance to our forebears. But what if Watkins was onto something far more profound? What if these ley lines were not just symbolic paths, but tangible evidence of the Earth's magnetic fields? Could these lines be part of an ancient magnetic grid that our ancestors understood and utilized? The science of geomagnetism tells us that the Earth is like a giant magnet, with its magnetic field extending from the inner core to where it meets the solar wind. This field is not uniform. It has its highs and lows, creating a veritable landscape of magnetic hills and valleys. Some researchers argue that these magnetic variations could influence the locations of ancient sites. Were our ancestors attracted to places of high magnetic energy? Did they somehow sense these energy hotspots and chose them as sites for their most sacred rituals and monuments? Consider the Great Pyramids of Egypt. They are not just randomly located in the desert, they align with the magnetic north. Coincidence or a deliberate choice? And they are not alone. From Stonehenge in England to the Moai statues of Easter Island, many ancient monuments appear to align with magnetic fields. In China, the concept of feng shui is based on harnessing the Earth's energy for spiritual and physical well-being. And in India, the ancient science of Vastu Shastra also talks about aligning structures with the cosmic energies. Could these practices be rooted in an understanding of Earth's magnetic fields? But it's not just about the location of monuments. Could these magnetic fields have influenced the very way these ancient civilizations developed? For example, the Indus Valley Civilization, one of the world's oldest urban cultures, had cities planned with uncanny precision. All major structures were oriented along a north-south axis. Could they have used Earth's magnetic fields as a guiding tool? These are questions that continue to baffle and intrigue researchers. While mainstream science remains skeptical, a growing community of alternative researchers is exploring these possibilities, pushing the boundaries of our understanding of the ancient world. As we delve deeper into this riveting topic, we must remember that while it's easy to dismiss these thoughts as mere conjecture, the continually evolving nature of science often turns yesterday's fiction into today's fact. The Earth's magnetic fields and ley lines may yet reveal secrets that could upend our understanding of the ancient world. To deepen our understanding of this intriguing concept, it's crucial to journey back in time, to the civilizations that might have been aware of these energy networks. The concept of Earth's energy lines is not a new phenomenon. Throughout history, numerous cultures have acknowledged the existence of these lines and incorporated them into their spiritual practices and daily lives. Let's travel first to ancient China, around 4000 BC. Here, the art of geomancy, known as feng shui, was already well established. It is believed that the Chinese dragon paths, the lines of energy crisscrossing the landscape, were actually the ley lines we talk about today. The Chinese were meticulous in their city planning and building designs, and the underlying principle was always to align with these dragon paths, considered conduits of life-enhancing qi or energy. Parallel to this, on the other side of the world, the indigenous peoples of the Americas also had a deep understanding of the Earth's energy. The Native Americans referred to these lines as spirit lines and believed they were the pathways walked by the spirits. They built their sacred sites, like the medicine wheels and burial mounds along these lines, believing it would help them connect with the spiritual world. Meanwhile, in the British Isles, the Celtic people had their own understanding of these energy lines. They identified ferry paths or ferry roads, which were believed to be straight tracks or ley lines. The Celts felt it was ill-advised to build homes or obstruct these paths, which were considered the domain of fairies and other supernatural beings. Over in ancient Greece around 3000 BC, these energy lines were known as the paths of Hermes. Greek mythology tells us that Hermes, the messenger of the gods, used these pathways for his swift travels. The Greeks built their sacred sites like the oracle at Delphi along these paths, believing they were conduits of divine energy. As we move to the deserts of ancient Egypt, we find that they too had a deep understanding of these energy lines. They referred to them as the paths of the gods and believed that their deities used these lines to travel across the land. The Great Pyramids of Giza are thought to be strategically placed along one such line, and it is speculated that their placement was intended to harness this powerful energy. These historical examples suggest that the idea of Earth's energy lines is not just a modern concept, but has deep roots in various ancient cultures. Each civilization had its own understanding of these lines and their significance, and many went to great lengths to align their most sacred and significant structures with them. The common thread is the belief that these lines were powerful conduits of energy, linking the physical and spiritual realms, shaping the landscape, and influencing the lives of those who lived along them. This rich tapestry of cultural acknowledgement across continents and timelines adds weight to the idea that our ancestors may have been aware of and actively engaged with the Earth's magnetic fields and ley lines. While the concept of Earth's magnetic grids and ley lines is ancient, it wasn't until the 20th century that this theory began to gain traction in the scientific community. The credit for this shift largely goes to Alfred Watkins, a British amateur archaeologist and photographer. In 1921, Watkins had an epiphany. While standing on a hill in Herefordshire, England, he observed a network of straight lines connecting various archaeological sites, natural features, and ancient churches in the landscape. Watkins coined the term ley lines to describe these alignments, deriving the term from the Old English word lea, meaning cleared area. His theory suggested that these lines represented old trackways or trade routes used by ancient civilizations, which were marked by various monuments and landmarks. Watkins published his findings in a book titled The Old Straight Track in 1925, where he proposed that these ley lines were intentional alignments created by ancient Britons. His theory stirred up quite a debate among scholars and ignited an interest in the subject that continues to this day. In addition to Watkins, there were other notable figures who contributed significantly to the understanding of Earth's energy networks. One of them was Ivan T. Sanderson, a British biologist and paranormal researcher. Sanderson proposed the theory of vile vortices, which are 12 roughly evenly distributed geographic areas that are alleged to have high electromagnetic anomalies. The most famous of these is the Bermuda Triangle. Similarly, another significant figure in this field was Bruce Cathy, a New Zealand airline pilot. Cathy spent decades studying the Earth's magnetic grid. He believed that the world's energy grid could be mapped using a complex geometric pattern. Cathy's work was revolutionary in the sense that he tried to measure and quantify the Earth's energy lines, something that had not been done before. Ancient texts and myths also hint at the existence of Earth's energy network. The Indian spiritual text, the Rig Veda, describes nadi, or energy channels, that course through the earth, similar to how they are believed to course through the human body in Ayurvedic and yogic traditions. The Aboriginal Dreamtime stories from Australia speak of the song lines, paths across the land that mark the route followed by the creator beings during the Dreamtime. In conclusion, the concept of Earth's energy lines is deeply embedded in our collective consciousness, reinforced by the work of influential figures such as Watkins, Sanderson, and Cathy, as well as ancient texts and myths. These contributions have solidified the belief that our ancestors were aware of and actively engaged with the Earth's magnetic fields and ley lines. Despite the compelling evidence and the many proponents advocating for the existence of ley lines and Earth's energy grid, the theory is not without its anomalies and contradictions. For instance, skeptics argue that the alignments of ancient structures along ley lines could be mere coincidences. After all, with so many ancient structures across the globe, some are bound to align purely by chance. One of the most prominent anomalies in the theory of ley lines and Earth's energy grid is the absence of a consistent methodology for determining their locations. Some researchers use complex mathematical models, like Bruce Cathy, while others rely on dowsing, an ancient practice that involves using a Y or L-shaped rod to locate underground water, buried metals, or gemstones. Another inconsistency lies in the interpretation of how these energy lines function. Some believe that they carry a form of electromagnetic energy, while others theorize that they carry a form of psychic or spiritual energy. This lack of consensus in understanding the nature of the energy these lines carry adds to the skepticism surrounding the theory. One of the most puzzling aspects about the ley lines and Earth's energy grid is their connection to unexplained phenomena. The Bermuda Triangle, one of Sanderson's vile vortices, is infamous for numerous unexplained disappearances of aircraft and ships. Some propose that the high electromagnetic anomalies in these areas may interfere with the functioning of electronic equipment, leading to these mysterious disappearances. Moreover, many sacred sites located on ley lines, such as Stonehenge and the Great Pyramids of Giza, are known for their mysterious healing properties. Visitors often report feeling a surge of energy, experiencing profound spiritual encounters, or witnessing inexplicable phenomena. Yet, scientific investigations into these occurrences have failed to provide any definitive explanation, further deepening the mystery surrounding these energy lines. Finally, there is an intriguing connection between Earth's energy grid and UFO sightings. Bruce Cathy was one of the first to suggest that UFOs may be using the Earth's energy grid for navigation or energy. Numerous sightings tend to occur in areas purported to have high energy concentrations, such as the Bermuda Triangle and the Sedona vortexes in Arizona. In the face of these anomalies, the theory of ley lines and Earth's energy grid remains a contentious subject. Its proponents argue that these anomalies only highlight our limited understanding of the phenomena. They believe that as our knowledge and technology advance, we may be able to uncover the true nature and significance of these mysterious energy lines. Until then, the enigma of Earth's energy grid and ley lines continues to captivate our imagination and fuel our quest for understanding the mysteries of our planet. As we delve deeper into this intriguing topic, we must critically assess the evidence that supports or disputes the existence of ley lines and Earth's energy grid. This calls for an evaluation of scientific data, physical artifacts, symbolic representations, and architectural alignments that are often associated with these purported energy lines. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence comes from archaeological sites that align with these supposed ley lines. These include ancient structures such as Stonehenge, the Pyramids of Giza, and the Nazca Lines in Peru. Intriguingly, these sites are not confined to a single region or culture, but span across continents and civilizations, hinting at a possible global understanding of these energy lines in antiquity. However, skeptics argue that these alignments could merely be coincidental. After all, given the number of ancient structures worldwide, some are bound to fall into straight lines by chance. Turning to carbon dating, the age of these structures adds another layer to the mystery. Many of these sites, such as Stonehenge and the Pyramids of Giza, were built thousands of years ago, long before modern understanding of earth science and magnetism. Yet they align with magnetic fields and energy lines, suggesting that ancient civilizations might have had knowledge of these magnetic grids. Skeptics, however, contend that this alignment is again a matter of coincidence rather than a deliberate design based on some profound ancient knowledge. In terms of physical artifacts, certain objects found at these sites, such as magnetized stones or metals, are also said to suggest a connection to Earth's magnetic grid. However, the scientific community has yet to accept these findings as definitive proof, as natural geological processes could account for the magnetization. DNA analysis of remains found at these sites could potentially offer clues to our ancestors' knowledge of the magnetic grids. However, nothing in our current understanding of genetics suggests a connection between human DNA and the Earth's magnetic field. Moreover, the lack of DNA evidence from many of these ancient sites further complicates this line of investigation. Symbolic representations, such as those found in ancient petroglyphs and cave paintings, are also often cited as evidence. Certain symbols, some resembling grid patterns or waves, recur in disparate cultures and are interpreted by some as depictions of Earth's energy grid. However, these interpretations are highly speculative and lack consensus among scholars. In conclusion, while there are intriguing alignments and anomalies associated with ley lines and Earth's energy grid, the evidence remains largely circumstantial and open to interpretation. It's clear that these ancient magnetic grids and ley lines continue to elude definitive scientific understanding. However, the pursuit of this knowledge, whether it ultimately validates or refutes these theories, drives us to explore the boundaries of our understanding and challenges us to view our world through a different lens. Despite the intriguing theories surrounding ancient magnetic grids and ley lines, mainstream academia remains largely skeptical. Respected institutions, established scholars, and professional scientists often challenge these theories, presenting a multitude of reasons to question their validity. One of the main criticisms is the lack of consistent empirical evidence. The scientific method, a cornerstone of modern academia, requires tangible, reproducible data to validate a hypothesis. Despite the numerous anecdotal accounts and circumstantial evidence suggesting a connection between ancient civilizations and Earth's magnetic grid, there's a significant lack of hard empirical evidence to support this theory. For example, the alignment of ancient structures with magnetic fields and energy lines, while intriguing, is not considered definitive proof by most academics. Skeptics argue that these alignments could be coincidental, or the result of cultural or religious beliefs, rather than evidence of advanced knowledge of Earth's magnetic fields. Moreover, the physical artifacts which proponents of the theory point to, such as magnetized stones or metals, can also be explained by natural geological processes. Skeptics argue that the presence of these objects does not necessarily imply that ancient civilizations had an understanding of Earth's magnetic grid. In addition, the interpretation of symbolic representations like petroglyphs and cave paintings is highly subjective. While some believe the recurring symbols depict Earth's energy grid, others argue that these symbols could represent a myriad of other concepts, including religious beliefs, astronomical observations, or even abstract artistic expressions. Another criticism comes from the field of genetics. The idea that our ancestors' DNA could have been influenced by Earth's magnetic field is viewed with skepticism by most geneticists. Modern science has yet to find any evidence that human DNA responds to Earth's magnetic field, making this theory difficult to accept for many in the scientific community. Finally, some critics argue that the theory of ancient magnetic grids and ley lines is a form of pseudoscience. They contend that the theory is often based on selective interpretation of evidence, over-reliance on anecdotal accounts, and a lack of rigorous scientific methodology. Some even suggest that the theory may be perpetuated by those with commercial interests, such as authors, tour guides, and others who stand to gain from the popularity of these ideas. In conclusion, while the theory of ancient magnetic grids and ley lines continues to captivate the imagination of many, it faces significant challenges from mainstream academia. The debate surrounding this theory highlights the importance of rigorous scientific investigation and the need for empirical evidence when exploring the mysteries of our ancient past. Despite the skepticism and the scientific challenges, the concept of ancient magnetic grids and ley lines holds an undeniable allure, particularly when viewed through the lens of spirituality and metaphysics. For many, these invisible lines and grids are more than just geological phenomena. They're the spiritual arteries of the planet, infusing the Earth and all its inhabitants with a potent divine energy. Let's delve into the realm of the esoteric and consider how these theories might intersect with human spirituality and the divine narratives that have shaped cultures across the globe. The concept of a global energy grid resonates with many ancient belief systems. Take, for instance, the Chinese philosophy of feng shui, which revolves around harnessing the Earth's energy, or qi, to harmonize individuals with their surrounding environment. Feng shui experts, or geomancers, interpret the flow of qi through invisible lines, akin to the ley lines of the Western tradition. In the Native American tradition, too, we find acknowledgement of Earth's spiritual energy. Many tribal cultures perceive the Earth as a living entity, with rivers and winds as its veins and breath. The notion of a magnetic grid could be seen as an extension of this belief, a scientific way of explaining the energy network that these cultures intuitively understood. The idea of a magnetic grid also dovetails with the concept of chakras, or energy centers, in the human body as outlined in ancient Indian spiritual texts. Each chakra corresponds to a specific area of the body, and the health of that area is linked to the flow of energy through the chakra. If we apply the same principle to the Earth, we could see the intersections of ley lines as Earth's chakras, where energy concentrates and circulates. Within the context of creation myths, the magnetic grid could be interpreted as the divine blueprint of the Earth. Just as the human body, according to many spiritual traditions, was created in the image of the divine, so too could the Earth be seen as a reflection of cosmic order. The ley lines and magnetic grids could represent the veins or nervous system of the Earth, a physical manifestation of divine design. In many of these spiritual traditions, then, there's the underlying belief in an interconnected universe, a cosmic web of energy that links all beings. The theory of ancient magnetic grids and ley lines gives form to this belief, offering a tangible grid of energetic connections across the planet. Whether or not this theory holds up under scientific scrutiny, it continues to inspire and provoke thought. It encourages us to look beyond the visible world and consider the possibilities of an unseen network of energy that connects us not just to each other, but to the very Earth itself. It echoes the wisdom of ancient traditions that recognized the Earth as a living, breathing entity and understood the profound interconnectedness of all life. The theory of ancient magnetic grids and ley lines has seeped into popular culture, influencing a variety of media from movies to books and creating a considerable footprint in the digital world. The notion of an interconnected, energetic Earth has proven to be a fertile ground for creative exploration, resulting in a body of work that spans genres and mediums. In film, ley lines and magnetic grids have often been used as plot devices. In the 2008 blockbuster Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the eponymous hero searches for a lost city said to be located at the intersection of powerful ley lines. The 2015 Disney film Tomorrowland also uses ley lines as a pivotal plot point. They serve as a network of transport routes through different dimensions. In literature, too, these concepts have found their place. They feature in numerous science fiction and fantasy novels, from Diana Gabaldon's Outlander series, where ancient stone circles on ley lines transport the heroine back in time, to Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson series, where they act as magical barriers protecting demigods. The power of the Internet has played a significant role in disseminating the theory of ancient magnetic grids and ley lines, making it accessible to a global audience. YouTube channels, social media pages, and online forums dedicated to the subject abound, with thousands of followers and subscribers. They offer videos and posts exploring everything from the basics of the theory to intricate analyses of their potential implications. Alternative communities have been particularly captivated by this theory. For many, it serves as a scientific validation of long-held spiritual beliefs. It has become a common topic within New Age circles, where the Earth's energy grid is often incorporated into practices such as crystal healing, dowsing, and earth acupuncture. These communities view the intersections of ley lines or vortices as places of heightened spiritual and psychic energy. Some even organize pilgrimages to these power spots, such as Stonehenge in England and Sedona in the United States, in a quest to connect with the Earth's energy. Indeed, the theory of ancient magnetic grids and ley lines has become more than just a historical or scientific curiosity. It has evolved into a cultural phenomenon, a symbol of humanity's enduring fascination with the mysteries of the Earth. Whether serving as a plot device in a Hollywood movie, a discussion point in an online forum, or a spiritual tool in alternative practices, the theory continues to inspire, challenge, and intrigue. It invites us to look beyond the surface, to see the Earth not just as a physical entity, but as a vibrant network of energy, echoing the wisdom of ancient traditions and resonating with our innate desire to understand the world around us and our place within it. In the shadows of the ley lines and ancient magnetic grid theories, there exists a realm of thought and belief that pushes the boundaries of the conventional understanding of these phenomena. These are the fringe theories and esoteric extensions, which delve into alien intervention, time manipulation, interdimensional beings, and hidden bloodlines. These ideas, while not supported by mainstream science, hold a captivating appeal for those seeking answers beyond the known. One such theory suggests that the ley lines and magnetic grids of Earth were not formed naturally, but were instead created by extraterrestrial civilizations. Proponents point to the precision with which these energy lines intersect, connecting ancient sites across vast distances. They argue that this level of coordination and alignment suggests an intelligence far beyond what was available to early humans. The lines, they say, could have been used as a sort of cosmic GPS, guiding alien spacecraft as they moved across the planet. Another theory suggests that these energy lines could be used for time travel or dimensional jumps. The idea is that the energy concentrated at the intersection points of these lines, often where ancient monuments were erected, is so potent that it can disrupt the normal flow of time and space. This, they argue, is the secret behind stories of people disappearing in the Bermuda Triangle, an area rumored to be a nexus of such energy lines. Venturing even deeper into the realm of the esoteric, some contend that certain bloodlines have a unique ability to tap into the power of these energy lines. They speculate that these individuals, often members of royal or noble families, have access to knowledge and abilities related to the energy grid that others do not. This might explain, they suggest, the historical concentration of power and influence within a select few families and bloodlines. The most extreme theories involve interdimensional beings, entities that exist in dimensions beyond our own, who can manipulate or traverse the energy grid. These theories often overlap with the extraterrestrial theory, suggesting that these beings may originate from other planets or galaxies, but exist in dimensions invisible to the human eye. While these theories are far from mainstream, they invite thought-provoking questions about the nature of our reality and our place within the cosmos. They challenge us to consider the possibility of intelligences and realities beyond our current comprehension, and they remind us that the mysteries of the ancient magnetic grids and ley lines are far from being fully unraveled. Even as we uncover more about these ancient energy networks, it's clear that they continue to inspire a sense of wonder and intrigue, a testament to their enduring allure in the human imagination. Whether we ever discover the truth about the ancient magnetic grids and ley lines, their power to captivate, inspire, and provoke thought is undeniable. The lines may lead us into the realm of the unknown, but perhaps it is there, in the exploration of these mysteries, that we find our greatest insights. As we stand at the precipice of understanding, peering into the abyss of the unknown, we are left with more questions than answers. Ancient magnetic grids and ley lines are fascinating, not just for what they might explain, but for the mysteries they continue to hold. These enigmatic networks seem to defy our conventional understanding of geography, archaeology, and physics, prompting us to reconsider what we think we know about the world and our place within it. Scientifically, the existence of a global energy network remains unproven. Despite intriguing correlations between ley lines and historical sites, the evidence remains largely circumstantial. We lack a comprehensive understanding of how such an energy grid would function, let alone how it might have been used by ancient civilizations. The instruments and methods to measure and validate the existence of these energy lines are not yet fully available or developed. If these ley lines do exist, as some believe, we must wrestle with the implications of such a discovery. It would undoubtedly revolutionize our understanding of the Earth and its natural systems, opening new doors of inquiry in the fields of geology, physics, and perhaps even biology. It could reshape our understanding of history, suggesting that ancient cultures may have possessed advanced knowledge and capabilities that we, in our modern arrogance, have underestimated or overlooked. From a socio-cultural perspective, The notion that certain bloodlines might have unique access to the power of these energy lines is both fascinating and unnerving. How might this influence our understanding of power dynamics and social hierarchies throughout history? Is it possible that the concentration of power within certain families or groups is not mere coincidence, but the result of a deeper, perhaps even cosmic connection? Theories about interdimensional beings are perhaps the most profound and unsettling. If other dimensions exist, and if entities from these dimensions can interact with our own through the energy grid, what might this mean for our understanding of reality itself? Are we truly alone, or are we merely unable to perceive the other beings that share our universe? These questions, while fascinating, remain in the realm of speculation. Yet, they drive us to explore and understand with a zeal that is as ancient as the ley lines themselves. As we continue to study and decode the secrets of the Earth's mystical energy network, we must remain open to the enigma, the mystery, and the wonder that these ancient magnetic grids and ley lines present. In the end, whether we confirm or debunk their existence, the intrigue surrounding ancient magnetic grids and ley lines pushes us to question, to explore, and ultimately to grow. It reminds us that the world is far more complex and mysterious than we often imagine, and that there is always more to learn, to discover, and to understand. And isn't that, after all, the very essence of being human? Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of Ancient Conspiracies Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to Ancient Conspiracies Podcast on Patreon. Subscribe now.